So in this video, we are going to continue solving problems from exercise 2.2, and there are a total of 10 problems. We have seen problems 1 to 7. Now in this video, we will solve problem number 8, 9 and 10. So let's start with problem number 8. Yes. So let's read the problem. Three consecutive integers are such that when they are taken in increasing order and multiplied by 2, 3 and 4 respectively, they add up to 74. Find these numbers. Okay, so first of all, we should know what are consecutive numbers or what consecutive means. So consecutive means numbers which are after one after the other. Okay, for example, okay, 1 2 3 is the example of three consecutive integers. Okay, then 100, 101, 102 is example of three consecutive integers. So this is the meaning of three consecutive integers. Now they are saying that three consecutive integers are taken in increasing order and multiplied by 2, 3, 4 respectively. So let's start with uh, yes, let's start with our unknowns. So let the smallest integer, okay, let the smallest integer be equal to x. Okay, now these are three consecutive integers. So the next integer is going to be x plus 1. Okay, and the last third integer is going to be x plus 2. Okay, these are our three consecutive integers. Now the question says they are when they are taken in increasing order. So this is their increasing order. Okay, smallest, next and the last, and they are multiplied by 2, 3 and 4 respectively. Now this word respectively is very important. Okay, so these three numbers are taken, and there each of them is multiplied by 2, 3 and 4 in that order. That's what the word respectively means, that each of them is multiplied in 2, 3 and 4 respectively. Then the addition is 74. So first of all, let's multiply each of them by 2, okay, 3 and 4 respectively. So in that case, what do we get the numbers as? So our numbers become 2x. This becomes 3 into x plus 1. Be careful of the bracket. You need the bracket because the number is x plus 1. If you miss the bracket, this will be 3x plus 1. Okay, actually it is 3x plus 3. So the bracket is very important. And then this is multiplied by 4. So 4 into x plus 2. So we are performing the mathematical operations as mentioned in the problem statement. Okay, so first the problem statement said three consecutive integers, so we took three consecutive integers. Then they said multiplied by 2, 3 and 4 respectively, so we multiplied them by 2, 3 and 4 respectively. We got these set of numbers or set of unknowns, and now they're saying they add up to 74. Note these three numbers or these three identities, they add up to 74. Okay, not the original numbers. These original numbers do not add to 74. After multiplying by 2, 3 and 4, these numbers add up to 74, and then we have to find these numbers. So let's come here. Okay, so these are my numbers, and so here I'm going to do summation. Okay, so summation is equal to 74. That is what the problem statement says, and therefore I can say, therefore 2x plus 3 into x plus 1, bracket is very important, plus 4 into x plus 2 is equal to 74. Okay, now this becomes our linear equation in one variable, and once we get the linear equation in one variable, we can easily solve it. Okay, let's try to simplify it. First we will try to open up these brackets. So I'll get therefore 2x plus, this will be 3x plus 3. Okay, and next will be 4x plus 8, that is equal to 74. So this becomes my simplification step number 1. Now step number 2 is you collect all the x terms, okay, and you collect all these numbers and try to bring them together. So 2x plus 3x plus 4x, that will be equal to 9x, okay, plus 3 plus 8 is 11, and that is equal to 74. Okay, So this is all the numbers together and this is all the x terms together. Okay. Now we have simplified our equation to 9x plus 11 equal to 74. Now solving this equation is quite straightforward. Okay. All we do is therefore 9x is equal to 74 minus 11. So what we have done is subtract. Okay. Subtract 11 from both the sides. Subtract 11 from both the sides of equation. Okay, this is the step that we are performing. It's important to mention the description also what is happening. So if we subtract 11 from left hand side, 11 minus 11 will be 0, so it will disappear, and right hand side will be 74 minus 11. Now let's perform the subtraction. Therefore 9x is equal to 3 and 7 minus 1 is 6, 63. Okay. Now next step is x is equal to 63 by 9. Okay. And what are we doing here? Once again, let's mention divide. We are doing division. Divide by 9. Okay. In both the sides of equation. This is important. Both the sides of equation. We should perform same operations on both the sides of equation to maintain the equality. Okay. So let's continue. And therefore our x will be equal to 9 sevens are 63. So the value of x is 7. Now what was x? Let's go up. Yes, x was the smallest integer. Let's try to zoom in. X was the smallest integer which has come equal to 7. So okay, let me try to create some space. Okay, so x has now come out to be 7. So the next number will be 8 and the next number will be 9. So these are the three numbers. Let me try to highlight. These are the three numbers that the question was asking. The original numbers 7, 8 and 9. And if you multiply them by 2, okay, so let's do the multiplication. So 7 2s will be 14 and 8 into 3 will be 24 and 9 into 4 will be 36. This addition is equal to 74 as the question had mentioned. So thus we have found out those three original numbers 7, 8 and 9. This is how you solve the problem number 8. Now let's try to erase it before we go to next problem. Okay, let's try to zoom in. Now problem number 9. This is the problem number 9. Okay, let's try to focus only on that. Yes, now the problem reads that the ages of Rahul and Harun are in the ratio 5:7. 4 years later, the sum of their ages will be 56 years. What are their present ages? We have to calculate their present ages. Okay, so let's start with very simple two variables. Okay, we will say let the present age of Rahul, okay, let the present age of Rahul be equal to R, okay, and let the present age of Harun be equal to capital H. Okay, simple to understand. So these are the two unknown variables. Instead of using X and Y and Z every time, you can use any unknown variable from the list of alphabets. So we have used R as the present age of Rahul and H as the present age of Harun. Okay, now let's try to read the problem statement again. Our job is to read the English language description given in the problem statement and convert it into mathematical equations. So the ages of Rahul and Harun are in the ratio 5:7. Okay, so we can clearly say R by H is equal to 5/7. Okay, because that is what the that is what the English statement says, that their present age, okay, are in the ratio 5:7. Now next statement, let me use a highlighter here. Okay, 4 years later, okay, the sum of their ages will be 56 years. Okay, so now 4 years later, so let me draw a line here. 4 years later, 4 years later, age of Rahul, what will be age of Rahul? So age of Rahul is going to be R plus 4, okay, plus 4 from the current age. And what is going to be age of Harun? So age of Harun will be equal to H plus 4, okay. These will be their ages 4 years later. 4 years later, okay. Now the problem states that 4 years later, if you do the sum of their ages, that is going to be 56 years, okay. So which means therefore R plus 4 and H plus 4, if I do a summation of their ages 4 years later, that is going to be equal to 56, and therefore I get R plus H plus 8 is equal to 56, okay. I've just rearranged these terms, okay. R and H are the two unknown variables, this I have brought here, and 4 plus 4 is 8, so 8 is equal to 56. Let's go further to simplify this. So R plus H is in fact going to be equal to 56 minus 8. I'm subtracting 8 from both the sides of the equation, and that is going to be equal to 48, okay. Therefore we get R plus H as equal to 48, okay. Now note, this is one equation, R plus H equal to 48, and this is another equation, R upon H is equal to 5 by 7. Now we have to always form a equation in one variable. However, we have equation in two variables, R and H, and here also we have R and H. So now what we have to do is we have to use this one equation to reduce the variable in the other equation. How are we going to do that? Let's try to come here. Okay, so here I am going to do the multiplication. I am going to bring 7 to this side of the equation and take H to this side of the equation, okay. Therefore I am going to get here 7R is equal to 5H, okay. From this equation I have come to this equation, 7R equal to 5H. Yes, correct, 7R is equal to 5H, that's correct. And now therefore I can say therefore, okay, therefore R is equal to 5 by 7H. Can I say R is equal to 5 by 7H? Yes. Okay, I am just performing division by 7 on both the sides of equation. Now this important R is equal to 5 by 7H, this important relationship I am going to use and substitute in this, okay. I am going to bring here and substitute. So substitute, I am going to write here substitute, okay. So R is equal to 5 by 7H. If I substitute this value of R in this equation, I will get one variable equation, which is what I want. I always want an equation in single variable, a linear equation in one variable. So after doing this substitution, I should be able to do that. Let's see how it works. So instead of R, I'm going to write 5 by 7H plus the original H, that is equal to 48, okay. Now thus we have a single variable equation in one variable, and it's a linear equation. So now if we solve this equation, we'll get the value of H, and once we get the value of H, we will again put that value of H here and we'll get the value of R, which is the age of Rahul, okay. Now let's try to solve this equation. So we all know how to solve this equation with rational numbers. So all we do is 5, so this is, let me write it, 5 by 7H plus H is equal to 48, okay. Therefore so this 7 is taken on the numerator and the denominator will be entirely 7. So I will get 5H plus 7H the whole divided by 7 is equal to 48, okay. And therefore I'll get 12H divided by 7 as equal to 48, okay. Now once again, how do we get rid of this? H is one variable, it is associated with two numbers on the left hand side. On the left hand side we just want one variable H, so we have to get rid of these numbers one by one. We start with the number 7, okay. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to directly write 12H as equal to 7 into 48, okay. And what is the operation that we have performed? Let's make a note of that. Basically multiply multiply by 7, okay, on both the sides of equation. Very important. This is the operation we are performing on both the sides of equation. Okay, so if you multiply 7 on the left hand side, that 7 and this 7, they will cancel each other out, and right hand side we have 7 into 48. Okay, now I'm going to keep this 7 into 48 as it is and not do the actual multiplication. Now next we have to get rid of 12 so that only h remains on left hand side. How do we achieve that? So I'm going to say h is equal to 7 into 48 divided by 12. Okay, what have I actually done? Let's make a note of it. Same step as before. We have done division here. So divide by 12 on both the sides of equation. Both the sides of equation. Okay. When we do that, what happens is this becomes 12 divided by 12, that is equal to 1, and this whole thing divided by 12. So that's what we have written here. Now solving this is quite simple because we know 12 fours are 48. So what we get is h as equal to 7 into 4, and 7 into 4 is nothing but 28. So we have got the value of h, which is the age of Harun, and Harun's age is 28. So what is h? H is the present age of Harun. Okay, remember this statement. The present age of Harun, h, is equal to 24. So I'm going to make a note of that. This we have found out as 24. Now how do we find out r? Okay, so r can be found out from this. Here it is. R is equal to 5 by 7 h. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, let's try to zoom out. Yes, and so I'm going to just, okay, so substitute. Once again we are going to do substitution. Okay, so let me just write it here. So we are going to do substitute the value of h in this. Okay, let's draw one more arrow here. Yeah, so substitute the value of h in this equation, and thus we will get r. So r as equal to 5 by 7 into 24. H we got as 24. Okay, now once again 7 fours are 28. So I'm going to bring here 4. So therefore r will be equal to 5 into 4, which is equal to 20. So r is equal to 20. So thus let's come here. We have found out the values of both r and h. That's 20 and 24. And that's what the question asked. They have asked us to find out their present ages. Okay, important point. So the present age is 20 and this present age is 24. That's the answer.